Part 2 of Day 13 of Doomsday cult mom Lori Vallow's trial. Detective Bruce Mattingly was next on the stand. He says that on January 3rd, there was a search warrant executed at Chad Daybell's house. And on the 15th, he took all of the items, the electronic items that had been seized, to the FBI. Next was FBI intelligence analyst Benjamin Dean. So he had been responsible for analyzing all of the electronic information he got. He was also in charge of going through all of the tips and things they received from a press conference. One of the interesting things he talked about was some information from Tammy's cell phone. He says that on September 9th, Chad had texted Tammy telling her that he'd shot a raccoon in his yard and had to take care of the body and bury it in the pet cemetery. The detective said that this was the first time that there was a detailed, lengthy, descriptive text message about Chad's day sent to Tammy. And last on the stand was Detective David Stubbs. So his job is to analyze data from electronic devices, cell phones, computers, things like that. He says he first became involved in the situation on November the 1st. He was asked basically to help out with finding out who the Jeep Wrangler belonged to in the shooting of Brandon, Lori's niece's ex-husband. So they did surveillance on Chad and Lori. They did find the Jeep Wrangler outside of their apartment. He says they towed it and nobody even looked for it. There was no phone call. Nobody called them back. They just towed the Jeep and that was the end of it. On November 26th was the day that Kay had called the police department asking them to do a wellness check on her grandson, JJ. So Stubbs was one of the sergeants that showed up for the wellness check at Lori's apartment. He had a body cam on and the footage was played in court. So basically Lori answered the door, basically had no worries, didn't seem nervous, and was just saying that JJ was with her friend in Arizona. Lori goes into this big detailed story about how her brother, not Alex, her other brother, is trying to kill her for a $2 million settlement. The sergeant asks, do we have to be concerned about this? Lori says no, because I'm going to be moving to Arizona as well to live with Melanie, but please don't let anyone know. So the officers leave. They try and get a hold of Melanie Gibb, and of course they can't. She's not answering her phone. So they go back to Lori, and Lori tells them that she's not answering the phone because she's at the movies with JJ watching Frozen 2. So eventually they do get a phone call back from Melanie, and she does admit that JJ isn't with her and never was. After this phone call from Melanie is when they issue a search warrant for all 3 apartments. So for Lori's, for Melanie's, and for Alex's. All right, I'm going to be posting day 14 soon. Hit follow for more updates.